It matters what you feed your mind. Your body and your spirit must be aligned. This is how you make it to your prime. And don't forget faith in the Most High. Check. If money's your motivation, you won't make it. Your expectations should be greater than paper with their faces. You want greatness? It takes dedication, hard work, and patience. Your purpose must outweigh your love for money and placement. See, money is a defense that you can use for protection. Help others and be a blessing. Love people over possessions. Cause money is the root of all evil. So don't love it and use it as you need to.
Hey, what's the deal, everyone? Welcome to the Meal Change Podcast. This is episode number 55. Hopefully you guys are doing good. I'm doing really good. I think every week I say amazing. So I'm doing amazing. And hopefully you guys are doing amazing on your journey as well. And hopefully you guys are getting some things out of this podcast that you don't get for other podcasts, and you understand what exactly we're trying to do. If this is your first episode, this is the Meal Change Podcast, and our motto is to help millennial men build a better mindset so they can come into their own, and so they can not make the same mistakes that every other man is making. And for you guys, like I always say every week, if you find a piece of information of this podcast inspiring, or some piece of the podcast that you didn't understand or something like that, feel free to email us. We get emails on the regular, and feel free, if you do get something out of it, to share with someone else. You know, that's very, very important. So this week I want to talk about something that I talked about before that's very important, and that is pattern recognition. Recognizing what your pattern is as a person. You know, us as human beings, we're creatures of habits. So consistently, we're going to do the same thing over and over and over again for, days, years, seconds, hours, the list goes on. We're going to do the same thing that we feel comfortable with. Now, some of us, like myself, recognize that there has to be a break in the pattern of what you might be doing in terms of if you want to get to the next level. There has to be a break in the pattern, because the next level isn't, if you don't have a vision for it yet, you tend to really put it on the back burner, and you tend to not want to take action because you don't see it yet. And one of the things that I've been working with myself over the last 5 years or so is recognizing what my pattern is and trying to break away from that pattern. And I've noticed that with myself, my pattern was always seeking some type of discomfort with comfort built into it. Now, what I mean by that is I would try new things, but I will always try new things on my own terms. I will always develop the strength to try something new, but I will always say, okay, but it has to be on this date, it has to be this time, it has to be this particular environment. And if you guys realize that that's a big thing for a lot of us men, that we have this attitude because we're so comfortable, some of us won't take action at all. Some of us will just continue to, go down the path of, I don't really need to take action. I don't really need to do something new. I make the type of money I want to make, or I'm comfortable. Men tend to get very comfortable fast compared to women and compared to animals. So this week, let's talk about pattern recognition. Now, when you wake up every day, it's a pattern. Usually most of us during the week when we have to go to work, the pattern is to wake up in enough time to get ourselves ready for work, in the car, commute, work, come back home, eat, sleep, have sex, do it all over again. And what I realized with that cycle of actions, that's often, you're going to be so comfortable doing that particular thing every single day out of the week if you had to. Even if you didn't have an off day, you can get used to doing that particular thing, because 5 days out of the week, you're probably doing it, maybe 6 days, depending on your job, or some of us are working 7 days. You still have that pattern, and that pattern, after about, let's say about a week to 2 weeks, you get comfortable with that pattern. But the problem is that pattern doesn't represent any type of change in your life. See, your body is used to whatever you throw at it, it's going to fight. Your mind is used to We need to find the most comfortable spot and we need to relax. We need to find the most comfortable environment socially, or in terms of our workout, in terms of not working out. We need to find the most comfortable spot so we can just chill out. Your mind kind of wants to take the approach of being hands off a little bit because it wants to protect you. But to tell you the truth, that you don't need protection. You need to tell your mind to shut up sometimes. I know sometimes if you ever listen to like self-help videos or motivational videos, who is that? David Goggins always says, I had to tell my mind to shut up. He used other words, but he'd be like, stop being a punk. And that's true of a lot of us. We're always trying to seek some type of comfort because our pattern is every single day that I wake up, I want some type of comfort. I want to know exactly where I need to go, what route to take, how much time it's going to take. And when you look into that type of behavior and those type of actions that you take, there's nowhere that growth is built into that. Nowhere. How many people are working a job every single day where they know the exact road to take, the exact time to be on the road, exactly how long their commute is. And that's just never comfortable. That's just never going to be a time where you will seek any type of discomfort from that commute or that job or anything, because you're going to be so comfortable you can do it with your eyes closed. And so what I want to teach you guys about this particular week, I want to teach you guys that discomfort is great for you. No matter which way you swing it, discomfort is amazing, because discomfort gives you the ability to go back to a childlike state where you have to, don't worry about thinking, just take an action. Don't worry about the outcomes, just take an action. Don't worry about how much you're going to get paid for this particular skill that you're trying to learn. Once you can get to that type of mindset where you're not worrying about the comfort and you're breaking the pattern and you're breaking the cycle for yourself, you tend to allow growth in. There's no growth in comfort. I've talked about it so many times, but it's just the truth. There's no growth in there. So I want to give you guys a quote that I heard from C.T. Fletcher. He said that you can only control the amount of effort that you put into each attempt. So if you guys are putting in some type of effort to change your life, to come out of your comfort zone and do some things that is kind of unpredictable, then you'll become the best version of you. And I know that everyone wants to equate money to success and in terms of what type of man you are. But if you ever notice, money really don't bring you happiness. It really doesn't bring you the options that you really want in life, because if you have an infinite amount of options, then you have no options, so. And also in terms of women, it's not really going to get you the women that you really, really want. A woman that's probably going to love you and probably treat you like you want to be treated. It's not going to work out that way. So if you can come to the realization that comfort isn't a part of your life and you got to be kind of uncomfortable, you'll have a better life. And then life will start to feel different. Then your actions will be different. Then the people that you meet will be different. The people that you become friends with will be different. Your spouse will be different, because you will be willing to do something that's not predictable, and you will be willing to benefit the most from the unpredictable things. So in life, the greatest benefit in life is the unpredictable things. It's not the things that you know that's going to happen. So we know that we're going to pass away one day. And probably no matter what you believe in or anything like that, probably the most glorious part that we probably never think about is we don't know when. So we have to live every day as if it's a doggone party and enjoy ourselves and not try to hold on to so many things that's going to really tear us down as people. All right, another thing that you might want to also consider is you have to stop looking for acceptance from family and friends. I talked about that before, many episodes. We know that these people love us. We know that these people want to see the best for us. But I'm just going to be completely honest. They're not going to live the life that you want, and you have to live your own life. So they're never going to give you the tools for you to live the type of life that you want. It's just not going to happen because you're different than them. So they can only provide you with the tools that they've used in their life, and they can only provide you with the tools that they know about. You know, sometimes knowledge, we have to go way outside of our norm to get knowledge, to bring it back to other people, or we have to execute that knowledge ourselves to really help us help someone else. So for me, like this podcast, I had to come out of my comfort zone, not be afraid to make mistakes with this podcast. I make mistakes all the time. I mess up on my words. I mess up on things that, a person that maybe been doing it for 20 years wouldn't mess up on, but I feel good about it. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel any type of thing that would stop me from doing this every single day. I think the only thing that really stops me from doing it every day is not to be repetitive with you guys and talk about the same thing every single week, because I could just be completely honest that it really just boils down to you and your actions, and I can say that every week, but that's not entertainment. That's not going to help you think about your actions in a way that's going to help you level up and change those actions. So what we have to do is we have to talk about different subjects. We have to talk about dating. We have to talk about not worrying about getting accepted by your parents or your grandma or your grandpa, all these people that's been in your life for years. We have to talk about those things. We have to talk about your mental health, because your mental health is going to either hold you back or propel you forward. Mental health is one of those things that we often don't spend enough time talking about it because we have so much comfort. And nowadays, right now I'm shooting a video on my iPhone, and this phone can do pretty much anything. But one thing it can't teach us, and this is what technology has failed to realize, and it will never realize it, and it's just the truth, is technology cannot build the life for you. It just can't. You can only build the life that you want. So I always say to you guys every single week, build the life you want. Don't wait on anybody else. Build the life you want. Create the life you want. I say it every week because I really mean that. If you decide that your life is not exactly where you want it to be, you have to start building it one brick at a time. One brick at a time. So that might be one day at a time. And it might be the time where you get to your 120th birthday and you're on your deathbed. You still built the life that you wanted, and you're going to live that life. Because even in the process of building that life that you want, you're also living it. So just always remember that building a life that you want really is not going to be within your comfort zone. It's going to be all outside of your comfort zone, all outside of predictable behavior and predictable things. And remember, there's a blueprint to anything you want to do in life, but it starts with, I can't do that particular thing because I know how to do it. Let's start with the things that I don't know how to do, and let's mix them in with the things that I know how to do. And so just always remember that. The last thing I want to say to you guys is really focus on making yourself better mentally. I talked about it, that we don't spend enough time on mental health, but making sure that, you hear it a lot of times with women, like, love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. So even if we don't use love, let's say self-care, because I know men, we don't necessarily need love. We just need respect and to be treated fairly and and treated good. So you have to make sure that your self-care is number one in your life. What are you doing for yourself? When's the last time you did something just for you? I know you got kids. I know you got a wife. I know you got a girlfriend. I know you got a sneaky link or a side chick, whatever the case may be. When's the last time you did something just for you? And if you can't answer that within the last 30 days, then you're not giving yourself enough self-care. Because self-care should be at least once to twice a week, just where you just only do something for you. And you'll be so much happier. Or not, even if you don't want to use the word happy, you'll be so much more focused on the things that you want to get accomplished because you feel good about self. So it might mean you have to work out a little bit. Okay, it might mean you have to do a podcast and you're nervous about doing podcasts and you're nervous about talking on a microphone. It might be you have to go on mental health walks. Like I do that every other night. Go on mental health walks and just be quiet for a minute, to drown out the noise. And and it's one of the greatest things that I've done for me personally, in terms of self-care for myself. All right. So I want to leave you guys with, remember, stop the patterns that's not giving you growth. Start a new cycle. Start creating the life that you want and start being better. All right. You can always do anything you set your mind to, but you have to set your mind to something. It's got to be something. All right. So guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for all the things that you provided not only us with, but hopefully we're giving you guys some things that you can take back to yourself and passing on to the next generation of men. We talked about it in the first couple episodes that our goal is just to build millennial men so they can build their sons and men later on down the life, where we're getting out of this thing of just letting life live itself for us, where we just relax and it's just flying by. We have to live the life that we want. I know I said that wrong a couple seconds ago, but it's okay. You guys understand what I'm saying. All right. So create the life that you want. All right. Guys, thank you again for all the support. Please comment, like, subscribe if you like the video. Send some feedback, emails, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter, because our goal is to create dialogue. Even if you're not creating dialogue on our network or our channels or anything like that, create dialogue with someone that you don't know. Just do it. All right. This is the Meal Change Podcast. Is to help millennial men build a better mindset. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow for a new episode. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. Like I always say, if I told you what we're going to talk about, then you'd be like, I don't need to watch this week's episode. But don't worry about it, guys. All right. Much love, respect. I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Deuces.
It matters what you feed your mind. Your body and your spirit must be aligned. This is how you make it to your prime. And don't forget faith in the Most High. Check. If money's your motivation, you won't make it. Your expectations should be greater than paper with their faces. You want greatness? It takes dedication, hard work, and patience. Your purpose must outweigh your love for money and placement. See, money is a defense that you can use for protection. Help others and be a blessing. Love people over possessions. Cause money is the root of all evil, so don't